Welcome back to a new video. In this series we focus on the Olympian gods of Greek mythology. The Olympian gods are the major deities in Greek mythology who reside on Mount Olympus. They were worshipped throughout ancient Greece and played key roles in myths, legends, and human affairs. This video is about one of the most famous and influential Olympian, Aphrodite. Aphrodite is the goddess of love, beauty, desire, and passion, symbolizing not just romantic love, but also attraction, seduction, and the power of beauty. She can be irresistibly charming and seductive, kind and generous to those she favors, jealous, vengeful, and cruel to those who offend her, and deeply connected to nature, the sea, and springtime. She is not just about romance. Aphrodite controls all aspects of attraction, from lust and passion to romantic devotion and even destruction. There are two stories about her birth. In one version, she was born from sea foam, after Cronus castrated Uranus and threw his genitals into the ocean. In another version, she is the daughter of Zeus and Dione. This version is less popular but appears in Homer's Iliad, a poem from a philosopher. If she is the daughter of Zeus, her siblings are the other Olympians. Even though she was married to Hephaestus, she had many lovers. Her most famous affair was with Ares, the god of war. They were caught by Hephaestus, who trapped them in a golden net. The gods mocked them, but she and Ares continued their love. They had 4 children: Eros, the god of love and desire; Phobos and Deimos, the gods of fear and terror; and Harmonia, the goddess of harmony. She has a tragic love story with Adonis. Adonis was a beautiful mortal whom Aphrodite deeply loved. He was killed by a wild boar, which was sent by Ares, because he was jealous. Heartbroken, Aphrodite turned his blood into the anemone flower. The last love story is about Anchises, a Trojan prince. Aphrodite fell for him. Together they had Aeneas, a great Trojan hero. She used her beauty to seduce both mortals and gods, and her affairs often caused conflict. She also played a key role in the Trojan War. At a dinner, a golden apple was presented by Eris. She is the goddess of discord. Whichever goddess was the fairest should have the apple. Paris, a prince of Troy, was nominated to judge which goddess was most fair. Hera promised him power. Athena promised him wisdom. Aphrodite offered him the most beautiful woman in the world. She offered the hand of Helen of Sparta, the wife of King Menelaus. He chose Aphrodite, leading to the start of the war. In Sparta, Aphrodite was seen as a warrior goddess. She was worshipped as Aphrodite Aurea, which means warlike Aphrodite. Spartan warriors offered prayers to her before battle. There are some great and famous myths of Aphrodite. Pygmalion and Galatea. Pygmalion, a sculptor, created a statue of the perfect woman. He fell in love with his own creation, and Aphrodite brought the statue to life as Galatea. And Galatea and Pygmalion got married. Aphrodite and Hippolytus. Aphrodite cursed Hippolytus, a prince who refused to worship love. She made his stepmother fall in love with him, leading to his tragic death. And the last one is about Aphrodite and Psyche. Aphrodite was jealous of the mortal Psyche, who was so beautiful that people worshipped her instead. She sent her son Eros to make Psyche fall in love with a monster. Instead, Eros fell in love with Psyche, and they had a dramatic love story before finally reuniting. Aphrodite was widely worshipped across Greece and Rome, with many temples in her honor. The sanctuary of Aphrodite in Cyprus. Paphos, Cyprus was her most sacred place. People came from all over Greece to worship her. Her priestesses performed sacred rituals of love and fertility. The Temple of Aphrodite at Corinth. This temple was one of the wealthiest in Greece. Sacred priestesses, often called sacred prostitutes, served the goddess. It was a major center for worship and pilgrimage. There are also festivals in her name. Aphrodisia, a festival in Athens and Corinth celebrating love and fertility. Adonia. A mourning festival for Adonis, held mainly by women. When Aphrodite is shown, she is almost always shown as eternally youthful and exquisitely beautiful, with perfect features that symbolize idealized feminine beauty in Greek culture. She is often partially or fully nude, especially in later classical and Hellenistic art, which emphasized her sensual nature. She sometimes wears diaphanous robes and wears a crown made of flowers. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want a video about a specific mythological being, please let me know in the comments. Have a great day!